their work rate, their competitiveness together, their love of one another has been exciting. The new additions have maybe brought a group, some solid pickups as far as the right people. The group that returned was exciting to have their opportunity. I think when you lose the likes of Sammy Morton and Lucas Sauter, that surrounding cast, it's going to leave a void. But I do believe that our guys have done the work in the off season here to make that thing happen. And at the same time, the additions will give us a really good balance.
Thanks, Coach. We have a question coming in from Kevin Dudley. There you go. Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, me?
Yep.
Hey, Luke. I know obviously a year ago at this time you're doing a lot of new things just in terms of getting to know the guys and new community, but in terms of systems, I know you were really busy at this time last year installing, power play, penalty kill, forechecks, D zone, things like that. How much further along do you feel you are from that standpoint right now as you were, a year ago?
Yeah, you got to figure last year everything was first. It didn't matter what we did. It was the first time we loaded the bus together, to a meal together, to let alone the way, the style, the identity, the system, the structure you wanted to have. So I do believe we're way further ahead. Matter of fact, the inside joke around here is like, are we skipping something because we're moving along at a different pace? I think as a coach, you're excited about the idea that you get to teach, and now I think we've got internal pieces that can help coach one another. And a year ago, that peer system wasn't quite built because of it being all first. Now they've definitely taken the wheel a bit and understand one another. And I think the importance of helping each other along as peers and just man to man as young guys going through it, it's already sped us up quite a bit.
Trent.
Hey, Coach, Trent Singer with the Rink Live. I want to touch on one specific freshman that you brought in Luke Ashton, a 6'7" D man. I'm just curious, getting him in practices here in these first few weeks. What is he as advertised? Just kind of in terms of being that imposing threat on the blue line.
Yeah, I mean, Ash is a big rig. I think there's two sides. One, he's a young man. His size is one thing, age is another. He's played enough junior hockey to be in here. The league presents older, harder. College hockey presents a more mature player. We really feel Ash is up for that test for sure. As far as attributes, you get a player that can skate, that's that size. He's got a very heavy shot. He plays the position like a smaller player compared to his the way to get around the rink and his mobility. And we're excited for the idea that he's a desperate guy to learn. Like, he loves learning, he loves the game, and I think that's going to propel him into some good things. It'll take him a little time to get adjusted, don't get me wrong, but we're excited about that package.
Kevin.
Got me?
Yep, gotcha.
Okay, good. In terms of, you touched on this earlier with the losses of Sam Morton and Lucas Sauter, but how confident are you in what you have coming back in terms of guys who have played top 6 minutes in replace them? I feel like that's a question that a lot of people are going to have. I know you've got it some, but how do you feel about the guys that you have looking at top 6 roles going into this year?
I think, Kevin, it's going to be a blend. I think there's a committee of players that want to be, if we can get as thick as there is in the top 6 and there's a 9 that all match together and they're interchangeable parts, I feel we're probably a stronger like that versus a 3, a 6, a 9. But I can tell you the fall off between 9 to 12 isn't very far either. So I think that's going to be the identity of our group. Like, if we can come in waves, as far as guys stepping up in opportunity, as guys mature and they go through their career, they want more. We feel we do a ton of individual development around here between plans and just steps to take, that we feel guys are ready to take on their new jobs and their new roles. And as far as their excitement level to be maybe given the keys in that spot, I think they're very excited for that.
Trent.
Yeah, Coach. Last season was unique because I think every team was bringing back experience at goaltender, and that's not so much the case this season. But how much of a value is it to bring back a guy like Alex Tracy into that role to sort of lead that goalie room?
It's imperative. I think the idea that Trace is not only the quality, the goaltender that he is, the person he is. The guy that gets captain votes as a goaltender. That's what he is. That stable of goalies for us. We've got four. I've never really had four before, but I do love the internal competition day to day. A little bit maybe take off some wear and tear on having three last year in the beginning because of injury. We had two. We surround ourselves with another group, but Trace is a leader, not only in the position, but within our own team. It feels pretty good to have that comfort level and to bring in Pauls, who had a great junior, run at it. Matty Severson is a very talented goalie, and Andrew Miller's been here for 3 years himself.
Kevin, do you have another?
Yep. We saw Evan Murry get recognized on the all CCHA preseason teams, Luke. I know he had a big year last year. It seemed like he improved last year as it went on, especially on the defensive end as well. How good can he be this year, and how happy are you for him to get that recognition?
And Mercy's a special guy. He again, he's a live to learn kid. Like, he wants to get better. He's a student of the game as far as the video. He wants to understand everybody's position as almost a quarterback on the football field. He wants to know what everybody's got going on. His talents, they allowed him to go to this summer. He was at Calgary's development camp. Sky's kind of the limit for me. He's a young man that had success last year coming in. He'll have probably a little more focus on him, no question on that part, but his maturity about going about his business and his daily routines and processes to get better, they've led to a great summer, and they're really leading into a sophomore year that you couldn't be more happy to see his progress.
Coach, last one here. We saw you out with your fans in line for tickets yesterday. What was the overall kind of feeling coming from the community? I know there's a great hockey community down there in Mankato.
It's awesome. I think their internal drive here in our community to have successful Maverick hockey is there. Our off, our out of conference play is a tough schedule, and it's supposed to be that way. I made it that way for the idea that we don't want to have a layup. We want to go to Michigan. We want North Dakota at home. We want you. They're going to be all tough. I mean, 3 of the 4 teams are in the tournament a year ago. I think that they're excited for hockey back here, and there's no question this league is built on rivalries. This league is built on just a night in and night out consistency, and that fan base of ours is excited to have. A lot of those people drove down from out of city limits to come in because they want to make sure they can get to the games of their choice.